We are Tumbleweed Eddie's. We're a natural dog treat company, soon to be cat treats, and we're based out of Fenwick Island, Delaware. We make different kinds of dog treats right now. We're doing 6 different biscuits. We have a jerky line, which is beef jerky and chicken jerky, and then we also do some specialty treats. We have an example here, our dog safe brownies, which are of course not made with chocolate, and we also do a sweet potato chip for the vegan chip type of customers out there. So a little bit about us. We have been in business for almost 5 years. We're originally from New Jersey. We moved to the beautiful state of Delaware in October of 2012. So we consider us reborn here. We've done so much more business in Delaware. It's an amazing state to be in. We absolutely love it. But we've done amazing strides in just the past year being in business here, and I'll get into that in just a second. Why we started our business is because we had a Chow Husky mix dog who unfortunately suffered from a seizure disorder. And we did some research and found out that he, after looking online, we found out that salts can actually cause seizures in dogs. So after, he had a few seizures where it was just not enough to want to put him on some sort of full-time medicine. So that's why we did research online and said, you know, it's not worth putting him on full-time. Let's see what we can do to help him holistically and naturally. And then we found actually that too much salt in a dog's diet can cause seizures and onset them. So we said, wow, started looking at his food ingredients, his treats, and third ingredient in was some sort of sodium. And a lot of commercially made treats use sodium as a preservative. A lot of them use fillers, and then we started looking further into the label, and this is an example of a label here, where you can see, the first few ingredients are, you have to list ingredients by the order of what's in there. So your first ingredient, of course, is the most of what's in that food or treat. And then you'll see, byproducts, there's some other junk in there that you can't pronounce. And then there's food colorings and fillers and just junk. So we said, wow, we started making our own treats, and he never went into a full seizure again. And it started as just a hobby. Of course, you're making treats at home, this is fun. Then we started doing some farmers markets in New Jersey, and it snowballed. The family loves it. The family starts supporting and saying, this is a great idea. You guys should sell these to friends and family and start your own online business. And that's what we did. And originally, like I said, it was just a hobby. It was a small, you make 20 bucks your first sale, a big deal online. It's exciting. And then when we moved here, we said, we really want to push this. This is a great thing. That's a great, pet industry is a huge industry. So we wanted to make it into a full-time business for both of us. So that's what we did. Currently we have 10 products. We try to use local ingredients whenever we can. We source our fruits and vegetables and some of our treats from local farms. We support them whenever they're in season. We buy them up, and when they're off season, we just freeze them. So they are locally grown produce, vegetables. We try to use something that's beneficial. All of our treats have some sort of vitamins or antioxidants in them, whether it be fresh kale, kelp. We use blueberries from Bennett Orchards in our bacon and blue treats. Our beach burger, actually, we use fresh kale in there. So we try to sneak something beneficial in all of our treats. So like I said, then we used to do farmers markets, some online sales, basically word of mouth. My friend has a dog, I want to buy some treats for Christmas. We did some craft fairs and that type of thing. That's when we were in New Jersey. Then we moved here and we started getting into doing a lot of wholesale. So we basically turned from an online business, a kind of hobby, to now a full manufacturer. So we actually manufacture. We don't have a storefront, we're not brick and mortar. But now we still do farmers markets. It's a great way to meet people, especially in a tourist-based area where they're coming from out of town. You wind up turning over those people every week. You meet a lot of great people that way. We've gotten some really, really great full-time customers out of just doing a few farmers markets in the summer. We still, of course, do our online sales, which has really skyrocketed since we've changed our website to be compatible with iPhones, iPads, that type of thing. We're starting to work with hotels. A lot of hotels in the area are pet-friendly, and one of the things that hotels want to offer is a benefit for their pets when the people check in with their pets. So we're starting to work with some, especially in Ocean City, some hotels that offer, little guest bags as welcome to Ocean City or that type of thing, a smaller version of our regular size bags, and it's custom labeled, private labeled to the hotel. So we're working with some hotels along the coast for checking in. We're in stores, pretty much any of the pet stores in the area we're in. Unfortunately, we're not in Concord yet, but I'd like to be if anyone knows anything yet. Some of the boutiques too, like McCabe's Gourmet Market in South Bethany, we do custom labels with them. Rosenfeld Jewish Deli is a deli down in Ocean City that we do a private label with them. And by private label, I mean we just switch out our logo. We just say manufactured by Tumbleweed Eddie's. Sometimes we offer a custom treat with them, like Rosenfeld's, for example, is called Bark Steam, which is a chopped liver flavor. Most of the time, though, we just try to stick with our own flavors, and then, you know, whether we rename them or just put their logo on, whatever. So, and we also just recently got a contract with Dogfish Head. They approached us last, I would say, late summer, early fall. They shot us an email, and they said that they are looking for someone to make dog treats out of their spent grain. So luckily, they came to us, and we've made 700 bags for them so far since, I would say, early December. So they're pushing the treats as well, and it's also a private label. It's called Dog Bark, but we do the treats for them. So we're very, very excited about that. And what's next for us is that, you know, we've kind of covered this area. Like I said, we're in all the pet stores here. We're covering the hotels, the specialty markets where they're saturated here. So we'd like to basically expand over the bridges. We'd like to get, you know, Baltimore, DC area. Of course, nationally, we do have some stores that sell us that we've just met through social media and that type of thing. We do have stores in, you know, Florida, all the way as far as Washington State. But we're looking to expand that type of way. We're also looking for commercial bakery. We'd also like some sales representatives, possible facility, and of course sourcing more local ingredients whenever we can. Of course, we want to support local businesses and get our ingredients from wherever we possibly can get them from, local businesses. And I think that's pretty much us. I think I'm perfect on time here.
Brenda, do you have a question?
How did you come up with the name Tumbleweed?
That's a great question. We originally started as Crazy Dog Barkery in New Jersey, and a few things. When we started doing cat treats with the name Dog Barkery, people thought they were, even though it says Crazy Dog Barkery cat treats, they still said, well, your name says Dog Barkery. I thought this is a dog treat. So we started saying, okay, well, maybe we should get away from the specific name of dog bakery if we wanted to expand into horse treats or cat treats or anything like that. So we started brainstorming. We wanted to be a unique, original name. So we said, let's think of something different than that kitschy kind of barkery name. So Tumbleweed and Eddie's happens to be our dog's nicknames. Tumbleweed, Toby, our dog, the Chow Husky that I mentioned, he unfortunately passed away, but his name was Toki, and because he had so much hair, it would actually form tumbleweeds in the house. And you'd see, we had hardwood floors, and you'd see like just this little ball of tumbleweed of hair go rolling by. So that's the tumbleweed. And the Eddie is my Jack Russell Murphy. He has a black widow's peak, just like Eddie Munster. It's just a perfect black widow's peak. So that's where Tumbleweed Eddie's came from. Now, his original name, we knew it would be original name because no one else is going to come up with something close to that. That's where Tumbleweed Eddie's came from. So it's a long, lengthy story, but it's our dog's nicknames.
Could you talk a little bit more about your packaging, your marketing, your manufacturing?
Sure.
And how you're getting the word out to like Sam's and others?
Okay, well, this is our standard packaging. We did create a single label. The Department of Agriculture requires that we register every label that we make every year. So we first started, when we moved to Delaware, we had probably about 20 products. When you come to Delaware, you have to register every product and pay every year for that. You start narrowing down your products. So we basically cut our products into half. We're down to about 10 products now. We do have, and I'm saying about because we have some seasonal things that we offer in Christmas time, summer, that type of thing. They're just standard poly bags. We heat seal them when we do send them to a store or manufacturer, sell them at a farmer's market, anything like that. This is just one I'm happy to bring with me. Right now, we manufacture strictly from home. We are looking for, based on volume, we're looking to either sublet or I ultimately build a commercial kitchen, but right now we're looking to find a bakery that maybe off hours can let us use their commercial size ovens. I know in New Jersey they have a lot of college campuses and that type of thing offer where you can rent space, you know, in a more industrial area. And I think there are some in Dover. Okay, great.
I have that number.
Oh, great, thank you. I think there's one in Dover, and I think because we're in Fenwick, so I think Salisbury, there might be one too. But again, it's just a matter of one expense, the time to get there, the time to commit to there. And honestly, when I do bake from home, if something's in the oven, I have like that where I can smell it, and I just know it needs to be turned over. But at the same time, I can actually do online things. I can do marketing or following up on orders or my social media and stuff. Right now, it's just my husband and I, so we strictly do everything ourselves. I've built my own website. We do all of our own social media, do all of our own marketing ourselves. And we really haven't paid any type of money into expenses, for website building or social media or marketing or anything like that.
Are you hiring?
I wish I could. Until we can cover our own expenses, I'm actually looking for a sales representative to represent our product, to talk to their stores and go out in person. We find clearly by just shooting someone an email and saying, hi, we're Tumbleweed Eddie's, we want to sell you our dog treats wholesale, you don't get a response. You need a real personal interaction with that, and we're really looking for someone to be able to do that for us, and again, over in Baltimore, DC, Annapolis, those type of areas.
How's profitability?
There are great profit margins with it. Right now, again, it's about covering our own expenses, our living expenses, because this is our full-time job. So it is tough. I definitely need to be better with bookkeeping, because it's kind of like, oh, we get an online order, and what do you do? And then we go food shopping with it. It's like, it's tough to kind of drawing that line of business expenses versus personal expenses and actually creating a salary for ourselves and that type of stuff now without a consistent type income. You can't depend on that. You can't depend on maybe, say you'll get a sale in 3 days from now, you won't. This is still a little bit too much flexibility for us to be specific and guarantee an income for someone else by hiring them.
There's help for you.
Yes, thank you.
Can you capitalize on the farm-to-table idea where you source locally even though it's pet treats?
Yes, we're trying to work with Southern Delaware Tourism right now because they do have a farm-to-table movement. And we actually do some work with them where we supply some of their out-of-state writers with our treats. And we're also writing a pet-friendly article for them right now for their blog. But we'd love to do that. And we did speak to them. It's a little bit of a further issue than we want to probably get into, but it has to do with funding and that, I'm not sure whose feedback that is. That market for them is kind of on the back burner because it's not pulling in revenue for the state. So it is a whole other ball of wax, but we'd love to. We actually kind of thought of the farm to biscuit movement, and that was something we came up with last summer. I'm just not sure how to really get that out there other than marketing on our own, partnering with some other farms and stuff. A lot of people are still trying to embrace the whole dog biscuit idea here and thinking that like, okay, yeah, why would I want to spend $8 for a bag of dog biscuits when I can feed them milk bones or, so we're still trying to work that out. But we love that idea, and if you know of any ways that we can incorporate that, that'd be wonderful.
It's nice you found your niche.
Thank you.
And the other thing is, would you ship internationally?
Yes, we would. We actually were approached at a farmer's market, believe it or not, by a company that's based out of Japan. And they do natural dog treats. It's a natural type market. And supposedly in Japan they're very, very big on their pets and they spoil them a lot. Unfortunately, we haven't heard back from them. Again, it was an issue with their funding, again, to build this online type website for them. And the last I checked with them, they were still working and waiting for investment and that type of stuff. So I kind of think it fell through. But yes, we'd be willing to do, international. Sure, thank you.
Comment, excuse me.
No, we're not a part of the Georgetown Chamber.
You're very kind. A comment and a question.
Sure.
Comment, you are very obviously using your head and trying to work the centers of influence so that you can go on and spread the money. And one of those I would suggest to you, if you get the news journal, which I doubt you do, or you can get a hold of a copy at the library, whatever, they have it, I'm sure.
Okay.
In there is a spreadsheet of apartment complexes in Newcastle and Kent County. It doesn't come here except for my latest review, which is this week. There's one Sussex County hotel shelter. Well, one of the little columns says pet friendly or tells you it's pet friendly. So you can actually sort of is that for a senior, for a seasoned citizen like myself? If I got confused and I ate some of that, am I going to be okay?
Yes. And actually, some people do eat our treats. We've actually had, we've sold at Whole Foods. They've had a local type market where you can go if you're locally made and sell at the front of Whole Foods. And we actually had vegan customers buy our treats because there's really, most of our treats are just a few ingredients. As my label example was up there, it's just tons and tons of unnecessary stuff. Where our ingredients, for example, our beach burger has 4 ingredients in it. It's just very, very basic. There's no added sugars, no added salts or anything like that in there. And some vegan customers really liked our bland biscuits. There was nothing else in there. So really any of our biscuits are just stuff that you and I would eat that's just safe enough for a dog to eat without the unnecessary fruit type ingredients in there. So yes, if you're hungry, I'd be more than happy to give you our dog. My nephew actually eats them. Yes, it's safe. It's safe. And some people actually would just eat them and not even know the difference. Like this biscuit's pretty bland. Yes.
Have you tried to market through vets?
Not really. There's been a few vets that have seen our product that just support us and they have referred us to their customers. And that's actually worked out really well. There was a customer from Pennsylvania that she just started ordering and she said, my vet recommended you as a great source for natural treats. And I had, unbeknownst to me, this vet was pushing our product. So it's a possibility. We've actually stopped in a few vet offices that have small retail areas in the front and that kind of stuff. And again, it's just a matter of how busy they are, and that's the sales type pressure that we need. I'm not really good at that, and I get uncomfortable trying to push my product. Like, well, are you ready to buy today? I just can't. It's not in me to do that. So if I drop something off at a vet's office and they don't really get back to me, I'm not the kind to keep constantly on them, and to me, it's annoying.
Well, I friended a vet page. I'm not a vet person, but my daughter is a vet. She joins me in practice. And once or twice a week, they do a post about some health or safety product that they suggest that and they have 1,100 dog owners that are part of their Facebook community. Mm-hmm. And when they post it, it's got that endorsement behind it.
Yes, exactly. We'd love that. We'd love that. And honestly, we use a lot of bloggers for reviews right now. We'll just meet them on social media and we'll say, you're willing to review our product, we just send it out to you. And we've got some really great feedback from that too. But it's amazing really how much social media has really just helped us with just, pet network industry groups on Facebook that I picked up 2 stores from just, introducing myself on there, which is, it's just amazing how you can meet people through different stuff like that. So I'd love that if you could introduce us.
Can I just add something to that you'll appreciate with the newspaper thing? That was the one thing we learned, not the hard way, but the funny way, was that most of the stuff you see in magazines and newspapers, those people have paid already to be in there.
Yeah.
So we're thinking how come no one reviews us? And then they're like, well, buy this ad, and then
buy this ad and we'll put you in there.
So people are reading it and believing that this is like a true review of it, and it's totally fake. We've done 4 magazines without paying, where they've actually done it. It's harder that way, but it was definitely.
And that makes me know. I know we're on the right path. I just wish it was a little bit. I can't complain. This past year's been huge for us, but we need more. We need to expand more. The problem with being here is that it's seasonal. So pretty much all of our stores here, we're busy as hell in the summer. Come, off season, it stops because they're not open or they're not selling as much, and we need that year-round income to survive. So that's where our next step. Luckily, Dogfish Head keeps us moving, and we've gotten 2 really big orders from them so far, and it seems to be pretty much every other month that they're ordering treats. And then we just picked up yesterday. We got into their Dogfish Head ale houses, which are in Virginia, and they're all in Virginia, I think. So that's good too. But we need that more year-round type of thing. That's why I mentioned Concord Pet. They're very hard to get in touch with, and there's no, even if you go to their website, there's no contact form. You have to contact a manager in one store, and it's just a lot of that. And to put the time into that, which is why we want some sort of sales representative to put the time into constantly, following up on these stores or approaching these stores is tough for us. But at the same time, baking and social media and everything else that goes along with it.
Are there any other questions, Lisa?
website. It is not free. It's they do offer a free version, but you're going to have your typical long domain, tumbleweededdies.com, .weebly.com, or something that, as long as they always have their name in it, it's free. But we had a special. We were looking at the website, and they offered me a coupon 30% off. So I wound up paying only $60 for the year for the website, and it is an e-commerce site. We are going to upgrade it because they just came out with where you can use coupon codes on the website now, and that turns to $29 a month, which I still think is really good for e-commerce. We used to use Wix, which was $19 a month for e-commerce. But I think any e-commerce site, you'll find that they can go up to hundreds of dollars a month based on how many products you put on there, or they can be pretty basic and around $29, $50 a month for
There
e-commerce.
are ways you can set it up. Like we did a WordPress site, and you just paid like $9 for the domain. You could add a free shopping cart. to
Yeah,
it.
there are ways that you can do a
could
site if
totally
you're
free.
looking, I can always tell you that because we've researched tons of them. If you're looking to do a website, there are free ways you can do a website.
And also,
As long as it's not a dog biscuit company.
no.
And it's like $1 million.
Would you ever consider like having a volunteer sales representative?
Of course, yeah, of course. We appreciate that, anything.
Any other questions, please? Brenda? you have-
I was just saying that Rob is gonna be great for you.
Yes,
Thinking about Rob. Put your hand up, Rob.
that's Rob.
Hi.
Oh, okay. That's great. I like their website. We're on the website.
Yeah.
It's funny because every little stride we make, like, it was a big deal to sell our first bag at a farmer's market, like, yippee. Then, it was our first store, like, yippee. And then it's like a Dogfish Head, I'm sitting out front with my biscuit bag, like, yippee! Like, we're on the Dogfish website, yay! So it never gets boring, and as long as we keep building, it's what's important.
Any other questions? Good. What can the community do to support you?
Well, I think I kind of went over some of that already. The big thing would be to help us expand, regionally. If anybody has any contacts in some of the and again, thinking outside the box is what's really, I think, helping us in this area. The hotels, making custom biscuits. A lot of people are shocked that, Dogfish Head has biscuits. There's just different things. It's not just your typical, are you sold in this pet store? There's so much more to where we can be sold or where we can work with. Even bed and breakfast, they're dog friendly. We've recently sponsored a dog cleanup station, the poop bags, with a low garbage bag at the visitor center in Ocean City. And then we put our little sign on there, Rocket Signs and lowest amazing prices. Rocket Signs gave us a little metal sign that says sponsored by Tumbleweed Eddie's, and it's a cleanup station. So all the visitors that stop in Ocean City can clean up after their dog, which is important, of course, for the bays and stuff, but also see our advertisement. And then they're offering to give us, in exchange for that, they give us a chamber membership. So, and we just maintain it. We go fill up the bags, we give them free treats to hand out and that kind of stuff. So, there's different opportunities that we can be a part of the community and expand with, and we're happy to do that.